Hey guys.
Check complete. Let's head over to the bar.
Yes. So we're back again with another episode of the VARBAR. Again with my gooners, Toast, Mace in the building. How we doing, gents? 3 points, 3-point gang.
It's 3 points and a lot more, boy. It's a lot more.
I ain't seen teeth like that from Mace in a minute.
Hey, man. Yeah, Toast, how you feeling?
Me? I'm feeling great, man. I mean, it was an important dub.
What was your name
team
to this again?
Say that again?
What was your name prior to this again? Instead of Gooner, what did you put? Like
fed up or something like that?
Bruv, there was a lot of iterations in it, man. But now we're steady in it. We're just back to Gooner, boy.
We're steady. Your hope is there.
Nah, chill. I was Gooner last week, bro. See criminals, boy.
Say less.
I was just Gooner last week, you know. Nah, see this guy, man. See this guy. But yeah, man. No, I'm feeling good, man. Good dub. Good dub, man. You know my motto every week, man. We keep it pushing. That's it.
Yeah, man. That's definitely what Arsenal have been doing so far. We'll dive into it, man, because obviously the big game of the game week was Arsenal versus Man City. Obviously, for the first time in like 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, it wasn't a top of the table clash. Obviously, that's what we kind of got accustomed to the past 2 seasons. Now it was second against fourth, I think, at the time, or fifth. Fourth, yeah. But City way behind Arsenal, let alone the top spot. This was looked at as a kind of a banana slip for Arsenal in terms of in the range of games that you had in January. It was a couple of difficult away trips. You dropped points here and there. City was going to be like the final of those difficult games before you head out to Dubai potentially. And Arsenal, I must say, did a Mazzini, open play goals only, no set piece, no Gabriel on the score sheet. Look at Toast trying to make up. I hate you guys, man.
No, bro. I have so many gripes for this guy Andy this week. Man. We'll get into it, man.
Nah, bro.
We'll get into
honestly,
it, bro.
man. Listen, I'm a fair guy, man. If something's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I'm fair, man. And to be honest, man, you know, especially after the 1-0, I must say, Arsenal obliterated City, man. But what I want to say is that City were kind of the architects of their downfall as well. But let's not jump on City at the moment. Mace, talk me through how much this win actually means for you guys, man, because seemingly, you know, every rival fan were telling you guys to calm down. You guys are having none of it. So explain how much this actually means to you guys.
It meant a lot in various ways. To start with the other game we played last year, where we drew the game, and also what transpired within the game, the red card,
Haaland, the game at the Etihad, the 1-0.
The Etihad, yes, the 2-0.
2-0, sorry.
Haaland's antics with Gabriel's, all of that, the stay humble, the Myles Lewis-Skelly, who the fuck are you? Chatting to Arteta like anyhow. And I think with Arsenal fans, we remember these things, man. We do remember. We'll keep it as like a engine behind our back. And to be honest, it's a grudge that has been cooking for 2 years now. And the way I look at it is, you know, when you have your little brother who is like 16 and you're 18 and he's small, and you're like, yeah, you're not gonna do nothing. Shut up. Just slap him in the back of his head after he's had a haircut. And then he slowly grows. He slowly grows, and the next time you turn around, he's like 6'2", and that's why it feels. That's the energy the City Arsenal rivalry is giving. Like, we're no longer that.
So you're telling me City here, you man here. Is that what you're telling me?
in terms of yesterday, it gave me that feeling like, okay, now we can ball with City, and we put down that marker. that you can't bully us no more. So that's basically the line was set, like the line was drawn. And now, if you asked me yesterday before the game what the score was, I would have said either we're winning or we're drawing. We were not losing to City. I knew that. There's no way we were losing to City. And the only way we draw is if we give City the opening like a Chelsea did to attack us and, do their thing. And yeah, for me, I kind of was siding more to win because I think we had the better team than City. I'll leave some for Toast to go because this is such a big game. I can't just dissect.
There's much to talk about, but let's just start with Toast for you. How much does this win mean from your perspective for Arsenal? How much does it, know what I mean?
It's just so Arsenal that the 1 year in about a decade that we emphatically beat City, because we've not emphatically beaten them in probably about 2 decades now. It's the year that they're at their worst. It's the year that the game probably doesn't hold as much significance as it has done over the past 3 seasons. But nonetheless, looking at the team above us, who have been consistent more or less all season, it was a vital win to obviously not only keep pace, what little pace we have with Liverpool, but to really assert dominance on a team that on paper we should be beaten. And I said this, that, and I don't even want to say it's like a disrespectful thing from Pep, because this is just who he is. He will never kind of be a person who will play conservative, but I think he has to understand that the issues that they've been having, particularly in midfield, that setup that he came with in that game, it was a recipe for disaster in it. But it's one of those ones where I think Pep came into the game saying, I'm playing with house money. I've just got a new sign in. We've been in a bit of a bad moment. I'm just gonna. I feel as if, to be honest, City are good enough to get top 4, but I definitely feel as if Pep is just kind of seeing it as like a free hit kind of season the rest of the way, because there's no way City should be starting essentially what is like a 4-2-4 in a game of this magnitude, like not really being very worried about like being conservative. Do you know what I mean? In what was a must-win game and in a difficult fixture away at Arsenal, and I feel as if he kind of almost set themselves up for disaster. So in a way, I'm glad that the scoreline actually reflected what I saw, what I thought could happen when I looked at the lineups. If I'm honest, I've got some issues with Arsenal just over the last couple of months where I don't know what I'm going to get game to game. I don't know if I'm going to get like a 0-0 sort of performance against Everton, or I don't know if I'm going to get like a 5-star showing against West Ham. So it's very difficult to predict how Arsenal are going to play week to week, but I'm very proud of the team and very proud of the boys for beating a City team that was there for the taking. And in the years past, we may not have put them to the sword the way we did, man. And I definitely feel as if like a team that has essentially stopped us from winning the league twice in a row, you have to see it as a statement victory, man. And yeah, we kick on from here, man.
We kick on from here indeed. In regards to like I wanted to highlight 2 players. Obviously, you had lots of players that were playing extremely well. Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, even Martinelli, the offside goal. He took that really, really, really well. That wasn't a normal chip, you know. That was slightly favela-ish.
Master in offside goals, man. Lacazette used to do the same thing, man. Like when they're onside, bro, you blazing it into Rosette. But when you're offside, you be scoring digs, bro. That's not even, you ain't even got in your locker, man. I beg, man.
Nah, but 2 players that I wanted to highlight, obviously Hale End Products, man. Ethan Nwaneri, but for sure Myles Lewis-Skelly. Now, obviously, Myles Lewis-Skelly, like in the Premier League, the first time that we really saw him was the game against Liverpool, I think. Was that his debut? Or did he play before? City was his debut, right? Yeah, sorry, City was his debut. But he came on in the Liverpool game, and in that particular game, he didn't look sure. And even Arsenal fans were like, yeah, he came on and, you know, Arsenal opened their backsides, etc. But since that moment, he's been going from strength to strength, and he's looking real solid, man. Like one of your better players in the squad. Like the red card being overturned is a huge thing, even though it should have been overturned. But losing him for 3 games, now you're looking at it, it could be peak, you know what I mean? So talk to me, man. Let's start with Lewis-Skelly, man. Where do you guys think his ceiling is? What we saying?
I'm gonna lead this one off, man, because I probably have to apologize to him a little bit if I'm honest. Because in those early games where he broke into the team, I thought he was like decent, but I didn't think he was like nice, I was like, okay, yeah, youngster, I understand. 18, Islington, North London. You know what I mean? He's gonna play for the badge and whatnot. Maybe get a bit excited a little bit in the kind of first couple of games that he's played in, but I wasn't seeing like what I guess everybody's kind of seeing now, isn't it? It's only really over the last couple of games. There was a ball. I can't remember what game it was. I want to say a couple months ago. There was one.
Aston Villa.
Was it Villa where he slipped one ball through
to Trossard, and then Trossard missed
yeah,
it.
Yeah, I think yeah. Like he has the two things that I like about him, and obviously there's been like a bit of cheer about his ceiling can't be left back, and I understand that. Obviously in the academy, I don't believe he was a left back. I believe he's like played further up, so it checks out because the two things that I love about him is three things actually. One, his ability to pick out a pass, man. Like he's a really, really confident passer on his left foot, number one. Two, the aggression he plays with. Like he's very, very fearless. He's aggressive not only in the way he plays, but the way he runs. And then the third thing is his ability on the ball to run. Like he's one of those players that the way he manipulates the ball and the way he puts his body in front of the ball, he can basically just dust you in like two strides, basically, because he always has the ball in the right place. He dribbles very, very well, very, very confidently. He's the sort of player that I can see him play in midfield because he has a very good knack of winning fouls and putting his body in the right position. And just his ability to drive the ball and bring the ball upfield, man. Very, very impressed with him with kind of every passing game, man. And it's crazy to think that we have Zinchenko in the squad. It's crazy to think that we have Tomiyasu who can't stay fit in the squad. It's crazy to think that we signed the Italian fashion model, and yet MLS is still
don't disrespect Calafiori like that. It's got key goals for you, man.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. But like for me, right now, 18 years old, I think we can firmly say that MLS is our number one choice left back going on the rest of the season. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult on a consistent basis for him to potentially get displaced. The only situation I can see him potentially getting displaced is if Ben White comes back into really good form and Arteta opts to go for Julian Timber on left back. Again, I won't be mad at that, but I think we have to understand just in terms of what MLS has showed and what he brings to the team, it will be very, very difficult to drop him again. So I probably see a situation where Ben White has to fight for his spot back at right back, but definitely looking forward to having Ben White back. Again, if we want to pride ourselves on being strong defensively and being sure in this final stretch of the season, we're going to kind of we're going to need everyone in it, man. But yeah, man, I mean, just to close the loop, man, MLS, man, like there's a lot of potential, man. There's a lot of potential for him to kind of go on to have like a very, very long Arsenal career and be like our starting left back for years to come, man. So yeah, man, to answer your question, man, I think his ceiling is very high, man.
Yeah, man, definitely agree, man. He agreed with everything, especially those 3 points that you make, like on the ball, fantastic. You could tell, like, it's like similar to like Trent on the other side, right? Where you can tell, like, in academy days, you guys were midfielders. But this guy as well, man, teched up in the way he dribbles, in the way he passes, in the way he even like the way he even shoots. Man, this was his first shot for Arsenal, full stop, and he dropped the shoulder and hit it with his right. He said, fuck this. Bro, that's
great goal, man.
I think Jamie Carragher said this as well, and I definitely agree with, like, I love players with arrogance. Like, I don't mind the Ibrahimovic, I don't mind the Cristiano Ronaldo arrogance. If you're good, have arrogance. In the streets, at school, when we were young, the good players, they all had arrogance. If you were good, you had arrogance about you too. So I don't mind it. And he has good arrogance. He knows himself. He knows he's good. He knows he will, I'm in the box. I'm banging this and I'm doing this celebration. And you know what I mean? I love it, man. And yeah, man, you guys have got one, but that's not the only one, because then that Nigerian brother that we've been talking about from a minute. Anyway, he's been touted from a minute at Arsenal. I even read that before you guys gave him a Connie, the Spanish Donnies were after him. City were after him, but he decided to
Chelsea.
stay at Chelsea. Were after him as well. He's decided to stay at Arsenal, which is
Arsenal.
huge, to be honest, considering the teams that were after him. Ethan Nwaneri, man. Now this guy, from day one, I haven't been excited about youth player since Mason Greenwood. And you guys know how much I love Mason Greenwood, but Ethan Nwaneri is someone that I'm definitely excited. And I already said it in previous episodes that this guy should play. And I get it that, just bet him in slowly but surely. But again, he came in, he knows what he's going to do, and he's going to do it. I call him Saka with sauce, and that's not a disrespect to Saka. But Mace, chat to me, man. Ethan Nwaneri, how excited are you about him?
Very, very, very excited. I came across a stat today that kind of gave me an indication of where Ethan is and where he might go. And I used the word might. I'll put this to you. There are two players who have scored more goals at his age in the Prem. Can you name in those two players?
Definitely Owen.
Yep.
And Rooney.
Yep. So that tells you the company he's keeping, Nwaneri is keeping. It's crazy, man. If you pay attention to Arsenal youth news, which not a lot of people do because, of course, it's the youth team, there are two names that were being touted. I mean, three, if you add Chido or B. Martin, because what he was doing was crazy. But the two main players were MLS and Nwaneri. He was just that good. He was playing up a level to a point where it just kept pushing him up the level, and he was doing well. The question now for lots of Arsenal fans is why didn't he play when Odegaard was injured? Because surely,
hey, you said yourself he wasn't ready. That's what you said. Because I asked you this as well.
No, wait. And I did say also, I remember when I said Arteta was stubborn, he has to play 1 year because 1 year is ready. I also remember there's actually a clip of me saying that as well.
Okay.
What Arteta did say, if you do remember, is that Ethan is ready. There's only one thing we're not too sure about is his physicality. And perhaps that's probably the thing you get with age, because Arsene Wenger always says when you get to see the best of a good player is when they're 20, 21. That's where they mature into that. Their body matures and they're ready to take on that responsibility to be consistent. But Ethan is the future. At 17, for you to have your own signature finish is crazy. And the way he should I tell you something that kind of confirmed to me that he's going to be a problem. The fact that Bernardo Silva literally chased him to kick him. The fact that he was just watch that game again. You see what Bernardo Silva did. He was just like taking the piss, and Bernardo Silva just chased and kicked him. And that for me is a sign of respect. That's for me is when you are playing and there's this young kid that's just megging everyone, dropping shoulders. You're like, okay, I have to teach this boy a lesson. And the future is bright. And the fact that we thought Saka might be the last of a great generation, and the next time we see someone with the ilk of Saka will be 10, 15 years, and we get two. It's crazy. Both of them, if you were going to buy them from like a Brighton or I don't know, a West Ham, they'll probably cost you 60 mil each. That's 120 mil or even more.
Yeah.
Just to end that, one thing I find so great about these two kids is usually when you have young kids, they're just okay. They're good enough to play in the first team, but that's just to be given like a 5-minute cameo or 10-minute cameo. These boys are pushing the first team players for starting position. That is crazy. That's the level of like and
it's just like with Nwaneri's sorry to cut you off, but in Nwaneri's case, and this is sometimes what I hate about this with my own club as well, because there's a hierarchy. And that's simply the only reason why Nwaneri is not playing. It's not based on ability or quality, because Arteta would have probably already put it, but he has to respect the hierarchy. Nwaneri and Arteta, of course.
I agree.
Lewis-Skelly is a bit lucky because you're a bit bare bones on that side. But yeah, continue.
And also two things. Let me just make that point very quickly. The type of kind of like youth that I see it kind of in Barcelona where they're La Masia kids like just come into the first team and they're playing. That's the I guess the connection I make in these two boys, right?
Whoa there.
Just
no, I'm joking, but yeah.
But just to balance it off, like you have to accept the fact that Saka was injured and Calafiori was injured, etc. That's the luck they needed to come into this team to show what they have. And you need those, you need luck. And these boys have come in at a great time at Arsenal. And to be honest, Saka needed that luck to break into this team. And to your point about like hierarchy, yes, that's just how life is. But you need that luck to be given that chance. And once you're given that chance, you goddamn sure better take it. And those two and Saka took it. And the sky's the limit, or even space is the limit for those two boys. It's crazy.
Should Tommy Tooks consider them for the next camp? Both of them.
Uh,
I mean, with Myles Lewis-Skelly, it's easier because England don't have like a mainstay left back. So on that basis, he's entry into the England team is more easier than say Nwaneri. Nwaneri has to fight someone like Foden, Saka, who else? Palmer.
But this is my point again, right? Like Philly in this bitch fan club number 1. 100%, but he's not in form, and we're gonna touch on Foden. we're gonna talk about it, but he's not in form. But we have to respect the hierarchy. But it's annoying because Nwaneri will probably do job over Foden at the moment on that side. Know what I mean? But Toes, what do you think?
Oh man, I mean, I think talking about England's in it is personally just a bit too early, personally. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, would he be able to mix it up with them England boys? Absolutely, man. Because we see that we have another star boy on our hands. But again, kind of to go back to the point that was kind of brought up earlier, I still maintain that we've done very well in terms of we've not like given him the keys to like the Emirates or anything when Saka's been out and when Odegaard's been out. We've kind of let him kind of here and there, giving him the minutes, man. And at the end of the day, while he is training with the first team and he is now probably, you could say, he's an established first team player, we do need to understand that the lad is still 17, man. He doesn't turn 18 till March, do you know what I mean? So we need to kind of make sure that we ease him in the right way. And I feel as if we've done that, if I'm honest, man. Again, to reiterate Mace's point, 7 goals in 22 appearances at age 17 at the top level of football in the best league in the world. I actually don't think people are deep in 7 goals from Ethan Nwaneri at age 17, bro, is crazy for Arsenal Football Club, man. I mean, ask what the average person was doing at 17, man. It was not that, man. So I got to give the guy his flowers, man. Just, he played similarly to Myles Lewis. He plays with such confidence, man. Great left foot, just so easy on the eye. Football is just very, very easy to him, man. And it's funny, man. He reminds me of a vet because I don't know if you remember back in the day, but footballers always used to wear like a little tape around their wedding ring, innit? He's got this little tape. I don't know if he's got like a broken finger, but even just that, innit, man, that was always reserved for like certain ballers, innit, man? So that's another thing I just love about him, man. But can't say enough about Ethan, man. But if I'm honest, I've had something on my heart. I need to get out in it, man, because this is my first gripe for you, Andy, innit, man. I need to go back to
I'm on
still on topic, but there was a lot of, just for the context and the listeners in it, there was a lot of chat yesterday about Arsenal's reaction to Erling Haaland and all of his antics in it, man. So I want to tell you in it because in the game back in, when was it? September, October in it. Unprovoked, by the way, Haaland decides to fling a ball off my centre-back's head. At the end of the game, he then steps to my manager and says, "Stay humble, yeah?" He tells my centre forward that he's a clown. He tells one of my up and coming players that you're irrelevant. Who are you? Like, and Arsenal fans are not supposed to say anything. Arsenal are not supposed to get the lick back. Arsenal, because Haaland's a Premier League champion. For me, that can never ever run in it. And I'm glad that Gabriel celebrated in my man's face, innit? Because for me, innit, you know what actually pissed me off about the whole thing is actually the Arteta thing. Forget Gabriel, forget MLS, forget Jesus. A manager's a manager, innit? Don't disrespect the manager, innit? Arteta didn't do nothing to you. Arteta didn't say nothing to you. Arteta is coaching.
Them City players have never respected Arteta, boy.
And that's okay, innit? And you know what? And that's okay, innit? By the end of the day, he won a couple of titles there as an assistant manager. So one, put some respect on his name, and two, he's trying to forge his own path. Understood? He's trying. You're a fool. He's trying to forge his own path for Arsenal. And fair enough. Say what you want to say about the tactics in that second half, but don't come onto the pitch at the end of the game. The manager is shaking hands and try step to man about stay humble there. That's a disrespect. Number one, because you know he's a manager and he can't react the same. I saw what Ben White was on that day. Ben White was ready for the smoke, innit? But you can't. What do you want a manager to do in that situation? Do you know what I mean? So for me, I feel as if unless Arteta's come out and maybe said something to Haaland in the media or during the game that I'm not privy to, don't step to managers, innit? Because if of everything that's disrespectful, that's disrespectful. And you saw Arteta's reaction. Arteta looked at man and walked away. What do you want the manager to do? Is the manager now gonna act like a footballer and square up to Haaland? So for me, that thing's been boiling. And for me, I'm proud of the Arsenal team because I definitely feel as if this whole thing stemmed from the whole stay humble there. And they had to give City a little something back. At the end of the day, we could be 16th, we could be battling relegation, we couldn't have won a league in 30 years, but I'm very, very happy that Arsenal did what they did yesterday. And it's one of those ones where City did what they did in the first game, we did what we did in this game, and we put it to bed. But the notion that Arsenal, because we've not won a league in 20 years, or because Haaland has got the Premier League goal scoring record, has got 2 Premier Leagues, 1 Champions League, whatever, I'm sorry, man, I'm not subscribing to that. No. I'm not subscribing.
You know what? Like stepping back, obviously sleeping on there, whatever. I definitely agree with you because obviously you made a point yesterday where you was like, it's not a City thing because people were talking initially. We're doing this. I think Shalom was saying that we're doing this for City. We're as the club, and that's why I was like, have shame. But then you said it's not a City thing. It's a Haaland thing, and then I stepped away because I was like, okay. Then I get it. If it's like you're just trying to interrogate or make fun of Haaland, and that's kind of what happened. Bro,
like it was. I remember the first game. It was a tough game, obviously, whatever. But I don't know why my man is just flinging a ball off a man's head, and he think that he's not going to get the lick back. That's crazy. But even that, you know, in a game, bro, we've all played football. People chat shit. We're not privy to that. True, but that's a violation, bro. That's a violation.
I know, but you know what? It's fun though. You know what? I must say it's fun. It's fun though because it's like Arsenal are really, you know, people. From a rival perspective, people look at Arsenal as like the loud one that has nothing to show for it, but they're still loud. And you know, like even like in normal circumstances, when people are like that, you're just very annoying. But at the same time, we need that in terms of the entertainment factor. And so we need like an Arsenal. We need like the pantomime villain in this league. There's not too much of that in the Premier League, in football in general. You know what I mean? So stepping back or looking at it this morning, seeing like different people's views on it, etc. I'm kind of understanding. Okay, you know what, Arsenal, fuck it. This is your role in it. This is what you're doing. But at the same time, you need to now also back it up. And obviously, let's say you win the Premier at the end of the season or Champions League or whatever, it'll be even more justified from your part, right? In terms of like, you would feel it a bit more. So, you know what, man? I'll hold my hands up. But for me, my issue was that you guys were commenting on City as a club. Like, we need to get our leg back with City. And I'm like, have shame. Even me, I have no smoke for City this season.
You do know, just to kind of interject it, that City have been stoking that fire. When they did the PFA Awards, wasn't it Rodri who was talking about Arsenal doing drawing? When we went for the draw at the Etihad, he was kind of poking us. So these guys have been poking us for time now. You have
They've
to
been
understand.
small boy,
hear
you
you,
guys.
Mace.
Exactly.
I hear
This
you,
is the
Mace,
thing,
but-
right? No, let me land. Like I feel like yes, you've been small balling us, but the way they have been giving us that indirect is more of like they're slightly threatened. Like if you're not threatened with someone, you would just ignore them. But the way City have been responding to us and the way and just how they've been doing it, it's just been threatening. Especially if you look at Arteta. If Arteta leaves City and goes to what West Ham and are 15th, do you reckon KDB will respond to Arteta that way? Of course not.
No.
The way I look at it, because Arteta's gone to Arsenal and not only made Arsenal better, but made Arsenal kind of rival City. I'm not saying that we've won anything, but we became competitive. So they see us as a pest. You understand? So that comments they've been saying is more of like, okay, we're threatened. These guys are annoying us. So I think this needle, as it's called. And so can someone explain to me what it's called needle? I don't get that concept. What the fuck is a needle? Anyways, this issue, this kind of back and forth, this bad blood has been brewing for time with City and Arsenal. And also, City hated the fact they gave us Jesus and Zinchenko, and it basically made us a better team. So you have to understand, it did.
Do you think they're hating that?
I
don't think so.
Trust me.
Yes, I don't know that.
All right, cool.
Boy.
No. Trust me. City hated the fact when they sold both of them to us, they didn't think we were gonna get that good. They hated the fact they sold that. Trust me, man. I think two things can be wrong.
Maybe they because when why am I getting balloons in my thing? Anyways, when like a top team is selling players to another top team, usually is because we don't think you're gonna do anything.
Yeah,
it reminds me of like Chelsea and Liverpool when they gave us Victor Moses, when they gave us Storage. Them man are not gonna do anything. We nearly pipped them to the league, innit? So it's similar to that. But I don't think they're sleeping on Zinchenko and Jesus.
Agreed, man. I think they considered them, man, just their extras, innit, man? They were like, hey, have at it, man, if you want them. I mean, for me, I think I probably have to slightly disagree with Mace on the point with regards to them, man, stoking the fire. At the end of the day, they're the back-to-back Premier League winners. Is it a three-peat Premier League winners? So
yeah.
They have a leg to stand on. So if they're going to come with the smoke about how we were performing in those games over the last 2 seasons, have at it, because they backed it up and they got their titles, in it. For me personally, it was just the Haaland thing, which I personally think he started unprovoked. He started it, we ended it, and I think we can leave it there and we kick on, man. So I'm happy, man.
Yeah, let's stick with City, man, because it's safe to say that them, man, are kind of losing the plot this season. And it's similar to what I said about Amorim last episode, where the episode before that I praised Amorim, and I can see that, long term, I think United, if they back Amorim, if they get the right players, Amorim will do well. I think that in terms of he will make United competitive again. I'm actually 100% sure of that. But at the same time, he's doing shit at the moment. And I think the same goes for Pep Guardiola. He is doing a terrible job at the moment. I'm sorry. Because you can't tell me the downfall is so huge. I know Rodri's a huge player. He's immense in that middle of the park for you. But you can't tell me that you completely losing the plot without Rodri. I know there's players in this team that are not performing to their optimal best. But that's your job as a manager. You're the GOAT manager. We see you as a GOAT. For me, I feel like Pep is doing a horrible job, man. And I'm not just saying that because he got spanked 5-1. I've been feeling this for a minute, to be honest. Yeah.
You know what, man? A lot of things could have swung City's way if certain things went certain way yesterday. So when they scored that goal, right? Say Phil Foden doesn't misplace that pass and he actually makes that pass. That's 3-on-3, right? So they could have been in the ascendancy. It's just 2 things, right? I guess the argument that Pep doesn't know how to handle players when they're crap, and he's been pampered to like great players, is probably that agenda might be kind of rising his head. Let's park that to one side. And secondly, just using yesterday as an example, City weren't that bad. They were bad defensively, but at one point they were controlling, right? So they weren't that bad. It's just right now, I think when he goes bad sometimes, when he rains, he pulls in City situations.
But that's what I mean.
So,
that's what I mean, that he's not able to control the situations. And I think it was very close to happening in the Chelsea game as well.
But
remember when I said that in the Chelsea game, he switched it up. They played a more direct way of football, and Haaland all of a sudden looked like a player. Why are you going back to... I know that's your football that you're trying to play and but if your players are not up to scratch, John Stones, awful. Akanji, that touch, awful. Foden, that square pass, looked like Darwin Núñez in the FA Cup against United, awful. Crazy stuff are happening at the moment.
You know what? With the City thing, and I know I praised him last week, but obviously just haven't had time to. First point, I understand what you mean, Mace. It was like, in a way, it wasn't a 5-1 game, but in a way, it was. I can see why we won 5-1 because of the way City set up. But then at the same time, I don't feel like they were completely out of the game, that they should have lost by 4 goals. But, and I don't get me wrong, I know this is like a new chapter for City, and they're probably signing for the future, thus signing a young centre back and signing like a decent attacking player, but. In terms of addressing their needs right now, which is probably a really experienced centre-back that can probably just fit in, and signing probably a defensive midfielder or a defensive-minded player who can play in midfield, they've not done that. So for me, this season, I don't see how this season gets any better because they basically signed this centre-back and they've signed Marmoush, who are probably going to be good long-term players. But in terms of addressing the need, that's basically cost them another run at the title and is basically giving them some issues in terms of making the top 4. They have not addressed that. So over these last 14 games...
they signed Nico Gonzalez now, right? Or close to signing.
What
position
does he play?
He's a DM.
I don't know.
He's a DM. Fair enough. How old is he?
Not entirely sure. Let me have a look. I think he's young, though.
Fair enough. You know what? In that case, I stand corrected, man. Because if I'm honest, that's going to be 26. The most important. 26. Fair enough. For me, that's going to be the most important signing out of the 3 signings that they've obviously made in this window, innit? Correct me if I'm wrong, or if they made any more. Because City are getting absolutely torn apart in that midfield area every single game. Like Rice and Partey, to their credit, will probably had their games of the season, but man, it was such a mismatch in that midfield, man.
Yeah,
it was such a mismatch. And again, if this Nico Gonzalez lad can't come in and really kind of impose his will, City are going to have a very tough end to the season because the same things are just going to rear its head game after game. Like that Newcastle game on the weekend, it's going to be another tough one. Tonali, Joe Linton, Gameres, basically against Kovacic on his own.
Yeah, bro.
Brother, that's going to be another tough game, man. And like, it doesn't get any easier in the Premier League, man. So yeah, man.
Especially as a DM, I think that's a tough position to lock down as a DM in the Prem, because we've seen a lot of players come in and they haven't really, hit the ground running.
Yeah. I just think like this is the time where we need to see Pep Guardiola coach. And you know what? I saw the fall off happening last season. This is why I still believe that one of our teams should have won the league last season. It's a shame that they won the league because I saw the fall off then. But when they saw us dropping points, they steamed ahead and eventually rolled us over. But this is not too surprising, man. And we need Pep Guardiola to coach the hell out of this team, man. But obviously, we mentioned the signings that he's made in January, and obviously in the summer he'll probably make a bunch more. I think Pep has had one rebuild right in his City career where he took over from the Greenies team, and then within 2 seasons he got rid of
that first season.
That first 2 seasons, and then he kept a few players from that regime. Now we're gonna go into the second rebuild. I think this rebuild will be even more difficult because you don't have peak Aguero, you don't have peak KDB, you don't have peak of your key men in apart from maybe Erling Haaland. Do you guys trust him to oversee this rebuild?
Well,
I know what he's
the thing
achieved. I
is,
know that. Do you trust it?
you do know, for it's kind of like Pep kissed a few frogs to get where the players he got, because there's a lot of players he bought that didn't work out that he had to let go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So he's gonna have to do that again. And now with the whole PSR situation, this is why we need to know what happens with his 100 and whatever charges, because if City beats that charge, then the FA are just sidemen. They can just go ahead and like do whatever they're doing. So that's basically that's the thing. So if they beat them charges, that means they can just do what they've done in the past. Just buy players, it doesn't work, sell them, get new players until they get it right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Chelsea tried to do it. Are they do? I'm not sure if they're there and they're there. So is it easy in this particular era? I don't know. But at least Pep has a history of getting it right with buying players, and City have the money to buy it. So we don't know. Definitely that Uzbek defender. That's an interesting one. It's going to take a while to get used to the Prem.
He might go out on loan, I think. I can see him just going out on loan for 5 seasons and then get sold for 50, 60. I can honestly see that happening. Like a Matic at Chelsea. I can see that shit happening, man. So annoying. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be a big rebuild, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to get the right players. There's better managers coming up.
They need a new keeper as well, because what's going on with the keeper situation? They're good. I'm sure his name.
I don't know what's going on.
Week.
Yeah.
Next week, Edison, man. Facts.
Yeah, they're gonna have to replace it with keeper, defense as well, because Stones just gets injured. With Diaz, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Crap.
They have to rebuild that. Exactly. It's gonna be nuts.
I'll be real.
See what happens.
I'll be real. Like, when the news came out that he extended for another 2 years beyond this season, I was surprised, man, because it's like you're coming off. Obviously, you've got the Champions League that's eluded you for so long. You've won the league now 4 times in a row. Like, it's like, what's next, sort of thing. And there was always going to come a time where the motivation and kind of keeping the will to want to continually to win, like it's like the law of diminishing returns. You know what I mean? Eventually something kind of has to give. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. If I know Pep to be the person that I think he is, he's gonna do everything he can for this rebuild to be as quick as possible and get them competitive as quickly as next season, man. But yeah, man, I am shocked that he is going to be here for this rebuild, because I really kind of expected this to be his last season, innit, man? So yeah, when the news came out that he extended, it was a shock, to be fair.
All right, let's move on, man. Big win for Arsenal, 6 points behind Liverpool. Obviously, big eyes on the Everton game right now. I think for the first time this season, there's a bit of pressure on Liverpool in terms of winning that game. Away at Everton, Merseyside derby, last one at Goodison, under the lights. Arsenal just off the back of a big win, 6 points behind us. So I think it's going to be a big game, man. But our boys did well as well against Bournemouth away. They beat City, Arsenal, I think United as well at that ground.
Soft pen though.
Bit of fortune on our part, because Bournemouth, man, I think they're really, really good.
They're legit,
man.
They're legit.
They are really, really good. And
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, watching that game, I'm not gonna be like I felt like we were gonna lose this game, but we could have easily dropped points. And I even said to the boys, if this game was under the lights, if this game was one of them 5:30 kickoffs or 8 kickoffs,
trust me,
we would have got moved to. For some reason, I felt that way. So
it was odd that the game was actually a 3 p.m. game, but I mean, man, I think
soft pen though.
Been a different. I disagree, Mace, man. I've had a couple of times.
It's a soft pen, but it's a pen.
Soft pen.
Oh, sorry, yeah. It's a pen.
It's a pen. Yeah.
It's one of those ones where when it's given to you, like thank fuck, but also you can see being not given.
For me,
if that wasn't given, that would have been.
Do I want my team to have that pen? And I do, because at the end of the day, it was accidental, but you've cut across the man because you were late. And you've clipped him, and he's clipped his own leg as a result. It's a pen. It has to be a pen.
Yeah.
But I hear you on the soft thing.
Yeah, it's definitely soft, but we'll take that. And obviously Salah.
But the luck you man are having though, there's no way Clive. I swear, if that's Arsenal, he's slapping that top bin. Like,
he missed the same against City, bro. He missed the identical chance.
Bro.
He missed against City as well this season.
I hate sometimes that example is an example of hating being an Arsenal fan, because there's no way our luck, like we get lucky in that situation. Just no way,
bro. But you've been lucky, bro.
Way.
Clever.
No way.
City gifting you 2 goals yesterday wasn't luck. It's luck, bro. We all get lucky, bro.
you see, Clever,
lucky, bro.
Man was looking at the pitch like as if the wind took the ball, or as if the grass there was a divot in. I was like, brother, you missed the chance, man. I don't know why you're looking at the pitch for, bro. Like, bro,
but there was hella, man.
Bro.
There was the offside goal as well, which was millimeters. There was Semenyo, who was doing evil. Trent was faking injury. Went off. He was faking it 100%. But obviously Bradley came in and then patterned Semenyo a little bit. But yeah, Dean Harrison, man, that centre back.
Oh yeah,
he's Dutch, but he plays for Spain. He's Dutch, but he plays for Spain. That's a shag on our part, but he's
broke
good,
into the team, bro. He's been so consistent, bro. And the thing is, you think that's crazy about him is he's not even big in frame, bro. I'm like, brother, his arms are like stick thin. His legs aren't even that big. Like, bro, and this guy is really doing it week to week in the Prem at centre back. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. He's strong, man. Good with his feet, good in the air. Very, very good, man.
He can do everything, man, for sure.
He can do everything, man. Good team, man. But yeah, shout out Liverpool. Yeah, next week we have to beat Everton. Let's move on, man. Quick transfers. Obviously, Arsenal, you guys need a striker or attacker of any sorts. Anything in or nothing?
All right, bro. Just go sleep.
Are you happy? Are you happy now?
Of course not, bro.
Going forward with what you have right now.
Of course not, man. This is just an acceptance of giving Liverpool the league. Like,
you think so?
That's basically what it. Yes, man.
I said this coming into the window, man, that the only way this iteration of Arsenal can win the league is if we get some additions, bro. This fucking club decided that we're still gonna go without signing someone. And you know what? It's a blessing and a curse that we won on as emphatically as we did, because Havertz got on a goal and assists, and I'm seeing what all the players are saying about him in the interviews and Arteta raving about him. It's that full sense of security that we've got the 9. We don't need like, bro, that Bournemouth Liverpool game was very
what Henry
tough.
said, isn't it?
That Bournemouth Liverpool game was very tough. And then look what Egyptian does, bro. Like to seal the game, bro. There's only about 2 or 3 men in the league that can do that, bro. That's the sort of level of player we need. Someone that calm down, guys. I know this game has been back and forth. It's been basketball. I'm gonna wrap this game up, bro. And that's what he done, bro. That finish was crazy, bro. He stood the man up. He stood Kirkheads up. Boom, top corner. Game done. And this is what Arsenal are struggling with. That game should have been done by half time. Look at that. We didn't even speak about Havertz miss. We didn't speak about Havertz miss, bro.
Yeah.
You're on 280k a week, my brother. You can't hit the target from there. Criminal, man. So for me, I had no expectations that we were going to sign anyone in this window. I was hopeful at the start of it, but people are talking about Watkins. Watkins that fucking caused us 2 points a couple of weeks ago, bro.
That's crazy. I found that so crazy.
Watkins, sign him on Jan 1st, bro. Don't come and tell me you want to sign Watkins after, bro. Like, so for me, I knew that we weren't going to sign anyone, man. And then as soon as I heard the Duran news, that's the end of the window, man. Because Villa ain't letting Watkins go. So man. I cannot believe that this Arsenal, the board, the manager, everyone involved have decided that we don't need another 1 or 2 attackers. It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy.
The thing is, it's not like I think they know we do, but what they're trying to do is just keep their powder dry for summer. You know, that's it,
brother. You have
no. I agree. You don't have to say anything. I agree. It's stupid because
let's move on.
Essentially giving Liverpool the league, bro. But let's move on.
Let's move on, man. Rashford signs for Aston Villa. People were at his pictures looking like he had a rough night in China White. Flew down straight.
He legit looked like he was on burgers and booze, man. Like that, bro. I don't know, man. That was not a flattering picture of him at all, bro. It looked weird, man. So
yeah,
but I mean, I wish the best for him in it, man, because I've got nothing against Rashford in it, man. And there's a player there, but Emery don't take nonsense though. So for me, I'm even thinking this is going to be a bit of a challenging signing because Emery, like, bro, like if you're not performing or if you're not doing what I need you to do, you're gone, bro. Like, look, Diaby had a decent season last year, bro, and Emery let him go after one season. I mean, come on.
You know what I think where it's with Emery, yeah, and even with the signings that they've made, they've signed Daniel Marlon, they've signed Asensio as well. Like, I think this guy is hell bent on having good attacking depth, and when I don't want to make it an Arsenal thing again, but he, you know, I think these signings that they made, basically, Arsenal could have made them as well. Arsenal could have signed Daniel Marlon. Arsenal could have signed. They're not necessarily needle movers in terms of like starting 11, but it's like attacking depth. Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's what, you know, Aston Villa are really doing at the moment. Where maybe they need like defenders or they need a centre back as well. I think, right? Because Tyrone Mings is injured now. Douglas Luiz is gone.
I think they're focusing on. They got what's my name? Conter. I think they'll be all right, man. But
he understands that he needs points. He needs to climb the table. I need to get attackers in.
What I don't understand is that these are the teams, City and Villa, are like the teams with PSL issues, with like issues, and they're like, forget about that shit. We
worry about that later, bro.
Like, I don't get it.
That's the motto, fam. We get sanctioned later, brother.
Bro, I don't get that, man. I really don't get that.
But fair play, bro. Like they're trying to get.
But the bigger point, though, I want to know more of like a Liverpool perspective. You haven't signed anyone. What's going on?
Yeah, I was gonna go there.
Yeah.
I think for us, I think from the start of the season, we've been saying it. Not necessarily that we're like happy, but in terms of depth, if everyone is fit, I've always said that if everyone is fit and can remain fit for the vast majority of the season, we Gucci. And so far, we've got most people fit. So, as far as I'm concerned, would I have wanted a Darwin getting sold instead of John Duran and getting someone in? Of course. But, you know, I'm happy to go into the season, to finish with this squad for the rest of the season, because the only main injury we have is, I think, Joe Gomez still. And he's on his way back.
Is Jota still injured, or is he done?
No, Jota's back. But he's in and out of NHS, man. So I think definitely in the summer, I think that's what the noise is now. Like, there will be a huge rebuild, and we'll see a lot more of, you know, slots players. And I think either one of Jota or Darwin are leaving. Maybe even both, I'm hearing. Obviously, the 3 Donnies that are out of a contract, they might be leaving as well. So yeah, the summer will be very interesting from a Liverpool perspective. But in terms of what we have now, definitely based on the gap that we have currently and basically no injuries, let's keep going, man. Like, I have no complaints. I think Slot is pretty happy as well. And let's see how far we can go.
I've got a quick question before we actually finish this.
Remember
earlier this season we were talking about where Chelsea will fall in top 4. Like, where are we changing that? Because right now they're losing and City have picked up form.
Where's Chelsea? What's the score right now?
1-0.
1-0 West Ham.
Yeah.
Who they playing?
West Ham. Bowen.
I think this was the thing that people were talking about Maresca, right? Because similar happened with Leicester, where like they blitzed from August till December, and then second half of the season, from like January to March, he was doing nonsense.
Maresca really saw the vision, you know. I thought he was being humble, man, but he was like, boy, we are not ready. Because this form,
you know, when you see them in training every time, it's like, you man don't know, boy.
You know.
You man don't know.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Is it also a case of like some of their signings not like really performing, like Neto, for example? You know, we have Jake, you know, former VARBAR member, also in the group chat. He's very vocal about he's not rating any of the players. Basically, I don't know one player that he rates apart from Nico Jackson, and I think there's one more, but the rest he doesn't.
Well, he
rate
rates
any
Jackson.
Of them. Yeah, I don't know. Him and Toast have been going back and forth on Nico Jackson. He raised Jackson.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I see Jackson as a Senegalese Darwin Nunez.
Sanogo with the blue stripes.
with the blue stripes. You know what I mean? But yeah, Chelsea.
But you know what? Just to kind of get away from Chelsea point, do you reckon that's probably why teams like Arsenal and Liverpool don't sign players? Because if it's not the right one, why are we signing them? Because we can sign players, but are they gonna bang? Are they gonna? I mean,
that's definitely from a Liverpool perspective. 100%.
Yeah, I think certain clubs have certain strategies. Like you will never see a Liverpool or Arsenal sign a player just because he's on the market, or just because maybe we won't be able to get him in 6 months, or just because let's get him because so Tottenham don't get him. That will never ever happen. Chelsea, meanwhile, that is their strategy. They're going to stockpile players that it might not fit right now, but he's available and he's good.
Yeah,
throw 60 million at it, man. That's the MO in it, man. So, but while we're on the topic of transfers, man, this is one that's kind of on my heart. We need to talk about it, innit, man. John Duran, 21 years old, Medellin, from played in the MLS. He moved to another team, I believe, just before Villa. Talk to me, man. Like, is this what football's becoming? Because I'll be real, I dropped my phone when I saw the confirmation, bro. There was no situation where a 21-year-old potential star boy is picking the bread over like the elites in Europe, bro. Like, for me, I'm actually nervous that this is actually where football could be heading to, because we've seen the Oscars, and we've seen the Neymars, and we've seen all of the players who've had a career. They've won stuff, they've achieved stuff, and then they've gone to what I call the desert. This is a 21-year-old star boy going to the desert. And don't get me wrong, man, I can't speak on his life. I can't speak on the fact that he probably grew up in the streets of Colombia. But even now, I'm sure his family are doing okay in it on his Premier League wage.
Man.
Him going to
listen as well,
man, because I'm
listen.
baffed.
Listen, I'm 100% with you. I totally understand. And based on like what I'm seeing from him in regards to his time at Aston Villa, even though that technically, basically on most facets, actually, he seems like a better striker than Ollie Watkins, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but
neck and neck, man. Yeah.
Peak for peak, I prefer like John Duran's profile. I think, but I don't think he's a serious Don. I think that's what it boils down to. He's not a serious Don, and I think Omum kind of confirmed that as well, because obviously he's friends with Morgan Rogers. He confirmed it, bro. The Donny is not a serious Don. So him going collecting bread in Saudi Arabia at 20, he thinks, bro, he's chilling, bro. He doesn't care. He's chilling. So it's kind of expected from my perspective. And do you think like clubs are not talking amongst each other in Europe? Do you think the top clubs, PSG and them, man, they will let him go to Saudi Arabia, 21-year-old? That can hoop like this.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I genuinely feel as if he could have had the pick of any team in Europe, bro.
Of course he could.
Like,
but Saudi Arabia is more attractive though, just because of like the tax situation and shit. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, I can never ever look into anyone's pockets. But for me, this is a completely different situation, bro.
Money talks, bro. Come on,
because Mace, think about it. He signed a contract a couple of months ago, so I know that I know his bread probably already doubled from the bread that he was on at the start of the season. He signed a new
50% tax, bro. You know this, bro. He ain't seen it. He ain't seen nothing.
You know when people said like this player's getting 320 a week when really they're seeing 150. Well, this Donny is seeing the whole 320.
He's seeing the 320.
Exactly. That HMRC, you looking.
That Donny, when it's all said and done, he's gonna go back to Colombia and build a city, man. The bread that he's gonna have is gonna be generational, man. It's gonna be something.
To be honest, man, we haven't really seen much of him even in the Premier as well, you know. So are we gonna miss him like that? I don't know. I think the Ivan Toney one hurt me more because I genuinely felt like he could have made a step up. And
you think so, man?
But
for me,
I think the Ivan Toney situation.
I was good with that one, innit? I was good with that one, innit? Because I mean, my man came from League One, playing in Northampton, playing in Brentford, Peterborough, like
but he was getting in the England squad. He could have. Y'all could have had him, bro.
Yeah, we could have, but
one injury or two, he could still be playing for Macclesfield FC right now, bro. So for me, the Tony thing, I was happy for him. I was like, bro, you started off at Newcastle.
He should count his blessings. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no. For me, and obviously the age factor as well, man. He was at an age where, you know what, he has played at a decent level for long enough. If you want to go get the bread, go get the bread. But it's the age, man. Like, is this what football's really becoming? 21-year-olds are moving to the desert for that big bread, bro. Crazy, man. Bro. Crazy.
When the HMRC takes that 50% of your shit, bro, it gets your head hot, bro.
Did you guys
desert?
Did you guys check out the the Henderson thing at Ajax?
Yeah, that was funny.
He was going back and forth with it. I told you people about Dutch journalists, bro.
No. I respect that, but what I don't understand is Henderson was like, it's not about the details. Brother, it's everything's about the details. What do you mean?
No.
The details.
Let me tell you what I think he meant by that. Because these journalists, they always come up, they always come out with rumors, and they cite my sources, the sources. Yeah. Who the fuck are your sources? You tell me who your sources are, and I will tell you the details. If you can't tell me who your sources are, I'm not obliged to tell you anything. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you.
If that's what
they always like to run with my sources, these sources.
A lot of the time, their sources
no. What he said,
what they think probably happened as well. Like, do you know what I mean?
But sometimes, because this was he's a respected journalist. You know, Jordan even mentioned him by his first name.
By name,
by name, bro. He's a respected Donny. He works at a big newspaper. He's got Donnies inside the club, bro.
But he referenced the manager. He says the manager said you wanted to leave. Right. So
the manager did say that.
So now, and I feel like Jordan was in a weird situation because he can't act the manager, right? So he has to act the Mike Donny.
He kind of did a little bit. He kind of basically said that's not what I heard. So I don't know what the manager's saying. That's kind of basically what he said.
It's basically Ajax are in a financial predicament. They wanted to sell Jordan Henderson. Long story short. Jordan Henderson, I think, didn't want to leave. He wanted to wait till the summer, so they basically came to an agreement with, okay, cool, you can stay. Because they getting rid of all their high earners, basically. Top earners, yeah.
Yo. How do you sell Anthony for millions of pounds or euros, and 2 years later you are pinching pockets? Like, what's going on in there?
Because they've recruited really poorly, put people on highway, people like Chuba Akpom,
oh yeah,
you know, it's not his fault because I don't think he fit into the Ajax philosophy, but they just recruited poorly. But also, I think people really underestimate how not being in the Champions League for a Dutch club is damaging. It kills everything. It's not like the Prem where TV money can rescue it because the Premier League is a brand. The Eredivisie is not a brand like that yet. So if you're in the Champions League, you won the league, basically. Know what I mean? And they've not been in the Champions League for 2 years. And that's what Ajax as a brand kind of relies on, the Champions League money, because they're used to being in the Champions League year in, year out. So that's what's hurt them, really. So sign players, put them on the high wages, say you don't even make the Champions League. That's on you, man. So you have to get rid of them again and start over. But they're close to winning the league again. Now,
with the league, right? Because I'm just looking at the league table. They need, if they win the next game, they're top. So it's basically do or die for Ajax this season. Like they need to win the league. Yikes.
But they look good because top two gets automatic Champions League. So
calm then.
They build a buffer. They build a buffer now. Yeah.
Calm.
But yeah, man. Let's head over to the bar, man. Let's head over to the bar. Any shots?
Yeah, I got 5 shots.
They got shots now, huh? Them I were doing sober back to back weeks.
Mace, run it, man.
5 shots for the 5 guys who scores, bro. So we start with Martin Odegaard, finally scoring goals. That's his first league goal. And probably this season. I don't know the numbers. I don't care. Drew's gone because he doesn't care about this. This is
out.
Donny dropped out. Fuck it. I'm gonna go. The second
Run it,
shot.
shoot.
The second shot. Who scored this?
Like the way man dropped out on the pitch, that's crazy.
That's funny. That's funny, bro. The way he dropped out. Right.
Hey.
Continue.
Regain composure. Second shot goes to Thomas Partey. I gave him a shot last pod. We don't talk too much about Partey. It goes to the third one. Third one goes to Myles Lewis-Skelly. Man, like Skelly. What a goal. What a celebration. Arsenal legend in the making right there. Fourth one goes to Havertz. Bro, I said you're going to get 20 in it. All comes this season. You're actually close to getting all comes this season, but you're just a... Yeah,
How much is he on? How much is he on? All comes?
It's actually quite close, you know. We'll confirm later.
He's already beaten his total for last year, but
So that's yeah. So
we're not
he
talking about
can get, but the fact we didn't get anyone in the windows, he can get 20 goals. So there we go. And Ethan Nwaneri, that's my 5 shots. Toast.
I only got one shot, man. Trappo once said, "Wap's expensive, defensive with the Arsenal. I feel like Declan. Declan Rice, 100 M's. Oi, nah, genuinely, this performance, I was smiling ear to ear because, bro, from the thing is, I don't think people actually understand that Declan Rice made that first goal. Trossard got the block, but if he didn't make that pass first time and set it up perfectly for Havertz, that doesn't become as easy of a chance as it was. And then we saw for Havertz's miss what Declan Rice did. He was everywhere. 2 assists, box to box. I can't say enough about that performance, man. Genuinely one of my favorite performances in an Arsenal shirt. Shout out Declan Rice, man.
Havertz is 15, by the way, so he needs 5 goals. Crazy.
Shout out Kai, man. Y'all number 9, man. Shout out him.
Man.
Now I've got a shot as well, man. Obviously, it was a good game, good win against Bournemouth. But not that many standout players. But the one standout player, Ryan Gravenberch, again, man. Like he bossed that midfield on his ones. I know there was McAllister there, Soboslai. Soboslai was a pack of ass, even though he's been playing good lately, but he was moving mad. But Gravenberch, man, like he's taking that 6 and he's taking it to his stride. I'm not hearing noise about Caicedo anymore. Caicedo's my dog, but I'm not hearing him anymore. Declan Rice is finally waking up last few weeks. But know what I mean? But Gravenberch got the chain this season in terms of 6s. You know what I mean? He's got the chain. Against Bournemouth, if he was the game, man was intercepting. Man was bullying the midfield. Man was dribbling. Man was doing pirouettes. Man was shrugging the ball off. Man was being press resistance. Know what I mean? People wrote him off last season. I told you, man. Give him a season, bro. He ain't played that much football. Give him a season. But even Arne Slot said we couldn't imagine him performing like this in the 6 in our wildest dreams, man. So shout out Gravenberch, because that's definitely down to him. And obviously the manager giving him confidence in making that position his own, man. And keeping him fit is key. It's key, man. So yeah, that was the shot. Yeah, I know you man are hating on my Gravenberch, man. I mean, y'all got rice in it. Enjoy your rice, man. Enjoy your basmati, man.
Elect, bro.
You get me?
Gladly, boy.
Like, share, subscribe, do what you need to do the needful. And we'll be back on your screens again. My name is Andrew, aka Rapid Drew. Mace and Toast, thank you very much. We are the VBP Boys, so we out.
Yes, sir.
Peace.